We just got this 2024 Subaru Crosstrek and we're gonna match it with a James Baroud Odyssey. One of the questions that we always ask ourselves is, do we send the car to a mechanic to install it for us or we do it ourselves? I have Ruben with me. He's a friend that he knows a lot about James Baroud and all the systems that you need to have for the installation of the tents. So Ruben, what kind of pre-work needs to be done on an SUV prior to installing the tent?
It's always a question, right? Do I do it myself? Do I get a friend and do it in my house? Or do I take it to a mechanic? Now, on a Subaru Crosstrek particularly, because it's not a very tall vehicle and stuff like that, I feel super comfortable with doing it in the driveway. The first thing to know is that I don't want a box and a pallet just sitting in my driveway for a few days until I get my crossbar. So I would say, number one, make sure that you have your setup, like your crossbar is done and installed before you get the delivery of the tent.
And which ones are the ones that you have right here installed?
Yeah, so this car particularly has side rails. So on a side rail system, I like to install crossbars that hug onto the side rails. That way I don't have to remove them. Like one option is just to remove the side rails and you go to a full platform. But for a James Baroud tent that's only like 150 pounds, you don't need that. These crossbars are gonna, side rails are gonna take the weight. So in this case, I went with Yakima Jetstream system with Timberline towers. They hug to the side rails. It took me 20 minutes to install. They are super safe. I mean, this is a full aluminum bar that's not gonna bend. It gives you the right clearance for the James Baroud mounts, but it's also not like super high. So it's still like a very sleek design. When I can go out and about with without a tent, and I don't have to remove the rails because they look 100%. Awful because they're super high. I mean, obviously you had at some point you had the Timberline system, but the older style, yeah. With an HD bar, and on that particular system it's a little high. So if you remove the tent, aesthetically you're gonna want to remove the brackets. But on this one, I mean, they're super slick. They went thinner. I like them. I would ride without the tent, and then for the tent it's just such an easy install. Now, one thing to consider is that whenever you have side rails, you want to still be flexible to have the right width. And Subaru did this perfectly. Obviously, they want people to install things on the roof because for a James Baroud tent, you want to be on a 2-bar system. You want to be between 27 and 35 inches. And this gives you, I mean, I'm not even all the way to the end, and I'm at 35, which is perfect for an Odyssey. We got our tent. The tents come in a box truck and they get delivered in a pallet. This is a custom box from James Baroud with the straps. Obviously, if you see these straps and you see the tape, it means that this tent has not been opened since the factory. And you know, obviously I have a driveway here. If you live in an apartment, you can always go pick up your tent. Like you can have it delivered to, you know, to like a terminal. LTL terminal, but this is how it arrives. I mean, it's in a custom pallet that fits the box. The guy got it off the truck with the you know, with a pallet jack, just dropped it off in the driveway. And
they usually just deliver it to you like whenever you need it, right? Like if,
yeah,
for example,
so
like I want to like order in.
Yeah, so any like when you do LTL shipments, they're gonna call you to set up an appointment because they don't want to come here and then discover that you're not home. So they're gonna set up an appointment and you'll know exactly when it's coming. So
that's awesome. It would be a bummer like if I get like the box like right on the street and I need to like pick it up myself.
Yeah, I mean, that's never happened to me. And like I said, like this companies will call you and set up an appointment. So I knew it was coming. All right, let's see this thing.
Yeah, I definitely never get sick and tired of these packages. Like, you really can tell that you're getting like a premium product, like on the cover, like the white cover itself. Like, it looks so neat and so awesome. Like, I love this product.
Yeah, it definitely looks nice, man. I like James Baroud. So when you unbox it, you're obviously gonna have the tent. It's gonna come with a white cover. You're gonna have your brackets right here, instruction manual. It comes wrapped to protect it. from the foam. This is what you get with a company that's got like 25 years of experience. You know, if you've done anything for 25 years, you're getting it right. Another thing to know about James Baroud is that they do have like the best in industry 5-year warranty. Any other tent in the market, your maximum are gonna get 2 years. So the way they package it also secures that the tent is gonna outlast the 5-year warranty. So we got it out of the frame, out of the box, and into these A-frames. A-frames for me, they make it easier not only for you guys to see the tent, but also to get it up in the car. We could have gone straight from the box, but also the box was delivered and the front was to where we needed the back to be. So we just flipped it around, put it on the A-frames. It makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, and I think the other reason that you want to turn it around is that once you start like lifting it up and put it on top of your roof, like you gotta make sure that it's easier not to be like turning around every time you try to put it on your tent. Just put it on the position that is the easiest to install it on your roof rack.
User manual, it's right here. Very straightforward. We're actually going to show you exactly how it says in the manual, how to mount it, but also take a look at what you need to install it, right? So these brackets come with the tent. You get 6 brackets. Obviously, we're only going to use 4 because we have a 2-bar system. If you have a 3-bar system, then you'll use all 6 of them. And you need a 6mm hex wrench that does not come with the tent. So the only tool that you're really going to need is a 6mm hex key. If it wasn't for this part right here, I would be installing it by myself. But this is the moment that I want either 1 or 2 or my neighbor. I have beers to offer anybody who wants to help. The reality is that it's only 150 pounds. You know, I'm 5'5", 140 pounds. You're not much taller than me. And we're gonna do this by ourselves. You can certainly do it, but this is the moment that you need to think about, well, you know, how many people do I need to lift like this, you know, bulky thing? The reality is that we're gonna show you how the 2 of us can just put it up there. It's always nicer to have a 3rd person or maybe 4th. I don't know. What's your opinion on this?
I think that when people see like a product this bulky, they usually think that, hey, maybe the decision of going to the mechanic is a better option. People don't know that, like he said, like he's 5'5", I'm 5'6", and we've installed many of these tents before. So definitely if you're bigger than us and you're trying to make a decision to go to a mechanic because you don't want to be bothered with all this.
Yeah, and also like I haven't found many friends that would say no to a beer to help me just lift this tent up there.
100%.
So
that's why I'm here actually.
So yes, so I mean we're gonna do it by ourselves. You'll see it. You can certainly do it. Even you can do it by yourself. You'll just have to use some tools. But if you have a couple friends, it makes it a lot easier.
100%.
Let's go.
Let's give it a try.
All right, set the front. How was that?
So easy. Like definitely when you have someone that can help you with this, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, I mean, if we had 2 more people, then this will be extremely easy. By the 2 of us, I mean, we can do it. Took us 30 seconds, but there is the strain of 150 pounds, you know? So that is the one thing that you have to consider.
Just buy more beers and invite more people to it.
that is true. It makes it easier. You have a 3rd person, it makes it a lot easier. Then the other thing is that you absolutely don't want to drop this on your vehicle because you can scratch it, you can scratch the tent, you can scratch the vehicle. So I would say 2 people, be very careful. 3 people, very easy. 4, extremely easy. Just buy another couple beers, invite your neighbor, and you should be good to go.
Are there some things to take into consideration when putting the tent on top? Like how do you align it? How do you know where it sets good? Can you tell us a little bit more about that, Ruben?
Yeah, so obviously you want to have the tent centered. As a matter of fact, some people that do awnings and stuff like that don't necessarily center the tent, but we're not gonna do an awning on this one even because I have Odyssey awning that goes on the tent. So in this case, it's just like center it, get a measuring tape, make sure that you are, you know, dead center, and you're good to go. When it comes to securing the tent, you want to put the inside part of the brackets, the ones that go in between the crossbars first, and then you secure it from the outside. I like to pretty much put it to very close to where it's gonna be at the end of the day, but it's still gonna move when you put the clamps in. So on the Subaru particularly, or any vehicle that has a tailgate like this, you wanna align it as close as you can to the tailgate. So all I did is just open up the tailgate carefully and make sure that we have clearance. So we know we have to go a little bit farther forward on this one. Just move it a little forward, like just go 2 inches to the front. And that way we know that is clearing your tailgate. And we're gonna do a second test before we secure the clamps.
Yeah, because while you're securing, things gonna move, right?
Yes. So now, this is the receiving end of the bracket, and this is the part that has the bolt. So James Baroud recommends that the part that has the bolt goes to the front of the crossbar. And so we're gonna need 2 of these in the back, and we're gonna need 2 of those in the front. The James Baroud Odyssey brings 4 channels, so that, you know, in this case, if you wanted to, if it only had the outer channel, you couldn't install it.
Right.
So
right.
what's nice about the Odyssey is that you have 8 different places where you could mount it, but it comes already with aluminum channels in 2 of them, allowing you flexibility to use different types of setups, right?
Is that common on the roof tents? Having 4 channels for setting it up?
Yeah, so most rooftop tents are only gonna have 2, but with the Odyssey you get 4, and then they have the and they are embedded in the tent itself. So you have, like, if you needed to use this second one or the first one right here, you would have to take one of these channels and move it to that one. All right. There you go. All right, so let's do the same to the front. Ooh, this way. All right, so the tent moved to the front. So let's just move it a little bit farther back so we can put the bracket. And now we're gonna measure. All right, push that front. Okay, let's push it back just a little bit. I mean, you don't have to go all the way, like, super close, but at least, like, give it 1 inch at a minimum. All right. And then we're gonna measure side to side that we're centered. So I know my crossbars are centered, so I'm just gonna measure from the inner channel to the crossbar. Got exactly 7 inches here. And then, all right, so push it. We have to go that way, 1/4 of an inch. So that's it. Oh, too much. There we go. All right, 6.5.
What was the measurement again that it needed to be centered?
So I am measuring 6.5 inches from the outer channel to the end of the crossbar, because I know my crossbars are centered. You can obviously, you don't have to be that precise, but the shark fin gives you a good indication if you are centered on the tent. See, because obviously the
Yeah, I
shark
can
fin
see-
is
yeah,
absolutely dead center.
I
in
can
that
see it
tent.
there. Yeah.
Okay. And then you also want to do the same, like front to back. You're at 2 1/8. And then, so this side right here. So hold on to that end real quick. I'm just gonna move it. There we go. That should be it. Okay. 1 3/4. And 1 3/4. So that's it. That's where we're gonna.
So now we're ready to
secure
put the other receiving.
Yes. Try to not move the tent since we know it's center. Oh, this is the wrong one. It's this one right here. I'll put the bolt. This is when I'm so glad we have a Yakima Timberline system, because some of the low profile racks are very, very difficult to deal with in terms of getting your hands in there
Yeah, they
and
have
being able to tighten it.
little
Whereas
clearance in between the
is
roof.
like enough clearance for me to put my hand through it and
And spin the entire hex key without scratching the roof of your car.
yeah, so what you can do if you don't have that clearance is that you can put that bolt from the back, and that's okay. And that way you can use power tools if you wanted to. But this setup is really, really easy. So. All right.
Actually, this is interesting because I believe that it even has more clearance than the one that I have installed on my car.
Yeah, it is nice. I like it.
I remember that I needed to use like a really small hex key, and because I couldn't turn the big one. So it was really hard to tighten the screws.
Once I have all 4 brackets in, I usually give it a good shake. I just want to make sure that I tighten. And you don't need to over tighten. It's just enough so that you know that the brackets are not moving with respect to the crossbar. And you're good to go. Usually, after I ride the first couple of days, I retighten just a little bit. And then after that, I want to say that I retighten, but I really don't. But at least on my first trip, like I try to do some short trips before I'm going to like a really long trip, and I just retighten, and it's all good to go. I mean, I think it looks awesome on the Crosstrek, and I'm dying to use it. One thing that I noticed is that because of the shape of the roof of the Crosstrek, the tent like is a little bit slanted up. But obviously when you're gonna go to sleep, you usually always have to find a way to have your tent level, and that's just a consideration that you're gonna have to do with the Subaru. And it is pushed forward because of the tailgate. I usually like having my tents pushed as back as you can, right? Because if you have tents that are going over your windshield, you could get some noise from the windshield.
Of course, yeah.
But
that's in terms of aerodynamic and everything.
Yeah.
I definitely like how the black color goes with the black details on this Subaru. I've seen the James Baroud can match any color that you want, basically. They have like a huge range of colors that you want, so they can feed basically every vehicle.
So if you have a Subaru, I mean, this is what it's gonna look like. The James Baroud does have smaller tents and also bigger tents, but I like this setup particularly. I'm gonna go sleep on it today and I'll tell you everything about it. Yeah, I can see myself using this simple setup, and it only took us it took us nothing to install, but the whole point of the video is for you guys to see us doing it in the driveway and see if you're willing to install it yourself or you want to go to a mechanic and get it done professionally.
So this was how to install a James Baroud Odyssey on a 2024 Subaru Crosstrek. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below any questions you may have.
And also let us know if you have a cool project or if you have any questions in particular about James Baroud tents. We're going to be making more videos, but we'll make a video specific to your question. And if you have a vehicle that you have questions on how to install a James Baroud tent, just let us know.
See you on the next one.